Good morning. Nothing to do with silver. One of my stupid, crazy rants. Listen, this morning an email went to the school system of New York City and the school system of LA, the two largest systems in the country. Uh, it was a terrorist threat, and New York City chose to ignore it, thinking it was a fake, and apparently it has been. And LA decided to close their entire school system. 600,000 students didn't go to school today because one person wrote an email. Now, this is the type of society that we're going to end up living in, and from now on. Why? Because there's nuts out there. And whether they're religious nuts or of any other variety, it doesn't matter. There's always somebody that's going to go berserk. Now, with all this talk about gun control, and I'm in favor of gun control, uh, but there's no amount of control that you can do that's going to prevent a nutcase from getting a gun. You can make background checks and try to keep the crazies that are known crazies from purchasing guns. But to be perfectly honest with you, I could go down to the flea market almost any weekend and I could purchase an illegal gun. I don't have guns. I don't like guns, so I don't keep them around. But that's how easy it is in this society to get a gun. Now, without getting into all the machinations of whether you think you're safer carrying a gun than not, I doubt that very much. I doubt that I want a bunch of loonies in a bar all carrying guns, and the drunker they get, the sooner they pull one out and shoot somebody. Or I want a bunch of crazed fans in a stadium all armed to the teeth in case one guy goes berserk. Yeah, no, I don't. I think that's pure lunacy. But the problem is with 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 terrorism, and it's terrorism in the world, and it's ruining a lot of economies. It's paralyzing our economy. We spent way over $1 trillion. We don't know uh, if the airport inspections, which they've tested and failed 95% of the time, have saved a single life. We do know that there were a group of perverts that were using the scanning machines to check people's bodies out under their clothing. We do know that there people have been paid, to allow certain things to go through that wouldn't normally go through. So it's a crazy system and it's a crazy world we live in. But it's going to get worse, and here's why. Presently, there are millions and millions of Muslim immigrants into Europe, and the more you get, the more they're going to want to live the style of life that they bring with them. Now, whether that presents an automatic threat or not, but you're going to have the Islamification of Europe, and if it takes 50 years, 100 years, it's coming, it's heading there. Luckily, we have two oceans between us to protect us from mass migrations, but Europe has nothing. Now they're fighting. It's an ethical question. It's a moral question, but at some point they're going to have to place some kind of limits over it, or we lose a good part of the roots of Western civilization. And everybody wants to. I have Italian friends that never been to Italy, and yet defend the fact, oh, they're Italian and Columbus Day is a big deal and all that kind of crap. And I got Puerto Rican friends that never been or probably will ever go to Puerto Rico, but yet they're all upset that Puerto Rico is going bankrupt and all crap like that. It's all this trying to cling on to your own family histories, and that's a lot of what's going on with the Muslims also. But you got a Sunni Shia split. It's been going on for, mm, I don't know, 15, and almost 1400 years. And it's not going to be resolved. And you've got tens of millions on both sides of the issue. And it's only the people that are more fanatical about their version of of Islam that causes all this friction. And take a case of Syria. There are more probably people that have vacated Syria, and rightly so, because of the danger of being there, that they have fled Syria, and they have fled in the millions, and who has to take them in? You got Jordan has a big uh, uh, encampment of Syrians. Uh, all the Syrians are trying to come in to Europe. You can't blame these people, but it, the the threat it possesses is that with these millions that come in, that it'd be so easy to hide a bunch of extremists, okay, if that's what you want to call them. So it's a presents a almost insurmountable vetting problem. But this is just one problem. Now the big problem, and coming in this century, is going to be the growth of the population of Africa. Africa will quadruple its present population by the year 2100. That 47% of all the people in the world will be of African origin. And I don't mean just the African Americans we have in the and the British Africans and yada yada yada. I mean living in Africa. That Nigeria will become the third most populous country in the world, only behind at that time it'll be India, then China, then Nigeria, and they will almost quadruple their own population. So the problem in Africa is the same as the Sunni and the Shia, but there's so many more factions in Africa. You not only have Christians and Muslims, but you got old tribalisms. You know, you have it's like the old Biafra problem or the Rwanda problem. That you have these people that have for thousands of years uh, have been interfeuding with each other over territory and over resources and all. But presently, Africa is one of the richest, as far as natural resources go, continents in the world. But to get to the extraction of those, it's usually a corrupt government that gets most of the benefit. The people are poor. Uh, Almost all the poorest countries in the world are in Africa. Now, the problem that it possesses is that these people, they can't feed themselves now, and you quadruple that population, you're not increasing the arable land, and in fact that as these cities expand and expand, you're taking away more arable land. So these people are going to want to go somewhere. And you think the migration out of Syria is a problem, wait till you get the migration out of Africa. Now, this is going to be a problem of worldwide dimensions, and no one yet seems to be addressing it, and it has to be addressed. And if you have any possible solution to this, please leave a comment and let me know what you think.